The following feature presentation is part of the Skywalking Network.
This is what you can look forward to on episode 527 of Skywalking Through Neverland.
Can you look in the camera and say, this is Denis Lawson and I'm skywalking through Neverland?
I'm watching through. This is Denis Lawson.
Red 2, standing by.
I'm skywalking through Neverland.
A one-take wonder.
Incredible, what a guy. Okay.
Hey, it's David Ankrum, the voice of Wedge Antilles, and I'm skywalking through Neverland? No.
Yes.
Hey, David Ankrum, the voice of Wedge Antilles,
Red 2, standing by.
and I'm skywalking through Neverland.
What is it? What is it? It's blue! All right.
You tricked me.
Are you ready?
Off to Neverland.
Here we go!
A long time ago, in a galaxy far, far away.
To all who come to this happy place, welcome. Disneyland is your land.
When I first made Star Wars, everybody in Hollywood said, well, this is a movie Disney should have made.
You're more than just fans. You're family.
Best day ever!
Secrets love.
It's about family, and that's what's so powerful about it.
Hey.
When you use a bird to write with, it's called tweeting.
When we visit the world of Disney, we never grow old. It's a Peter Pan, Never Land that keeps us young in heart.
This is Jedi Master Obi-Wan Kenobi, and you are skywalking through Neverland. I have a good feeling about this.
Hey, Skywalkers! The Rebel Scum Con fun continues because in this episode we have 2 Wedges and a Watto. We're going to be joined by Denis Lawson, who portrayed Wedge Antilles in the original Star Wars trilogy, as well as the Rise of Skywalker. And we also have David Ankrum, who voiced Wedge in A New Hope. There you have your 2 Wedges. And then we get to fit a Watto in there. So Andy Secombe, who voiced Watto in The Phantom Menace and Attack of the Clones, he will join us as well.
And I believe when we were talking on the plane, you were about to edit these 3 interviews, and you were like, yeah, I'm about to edit 2 Wedges and a Watto. And I was like, well, that's the name of our episode.
And that's what you get this week. But before we get to them, we want to welcome everyone back to Skywalking Through Neverland. I am Richard Woloski, and now everyone please say hello to my sweetie wife Sarah, who sounds a little bit more like Carrie Fisher than Kathleen Turner.
Yeah, that's very good. Yes, we had to postpone our recording of this episode a day so that my voice could recover.
Go back to Romancing the Stone or War of the Roses. Kathleen Turner really had that husky voice.
She really did.
Whereas in the 90s, Carrie Fisher had a husky voice as well. Not Kathleen Turner-esque, but still kind of husky. So right now, you're in the middle of those two.
Well, we are your enthusiastic podcast destination for the many decades of your Star Wars, Disney, Marvel, and pop culture fandom. So imagine a big Wookiee hug from us, and then a little sprinkle of pixie dust for our family of Skywalkers. Welcome, Skywalkers.
All right, now we are being sponsored by Small World Vacations, and they are a diamond-level Disney vacation planner travel agency and can help you book your trip to a Disney park around the world, a Disney cruise, or the Universal theme parks on either coast. So excited. Now, best of all, this service is free of charge, and we're going to take advantage of that when we go to Epic Universe very, very shortly. So head over there to smallworldvacations.com for a no-obligation price quote and tell them Skywalking Through Neverland sent you.
Now, speaking of our Orlando trip, we want to remind Skywalkers of where we're going to be. We're going to have an East Coast Skywalker meetup on October 5th. In Disney Springs, probably Jock Lindsay's Hangar Bar, but there is an event on our Facebook page. And so through that event, you can get up-to-date information on when and where that will be exactly on October 5th.
So looking forward to seeing the East Coast Skywalkers.
Yes.
All right, now we are recording this from Long Beach, California on August the 26th, 2025.
So Richard, what happened today in Star Wars history?
Well, on this date, August 25th, 1977, 48 years ago, Luke Skywalker, Han Solo, Princess Leia, and Chewbacca appear on the cover of Rolling Stone magazine. And the feature article was The Force Behind George Lucas. And George Lucas reveals for the first time that Darth Vader lost this big epic duel with Ben Kenobi and was knocked into a volcanic pit. I remember reading that in 1977, and I got my little action figures, and I'm out there battling, and I was trying to imagine what this would look like. Cut to 2005, it's like, right there in Revenge of the Sith. Mm-hmm. He made a promise, and Lucas delivered.
Wow.
He also reveals the voice behind Darth Vader, because remember, in Star Wars, James Earl Jones didn't get a credit. So, as far as I can remember, this might be the first time we ever knew who voiced Darth Vader.
Wow.
And also in this Rolling Stone magazine, I think they invented the word spoiler.
Oh, really?
Because in a headline, it read, Alec Guinness as the old warrior who returns for her final triumph before joining the Force. You're giving away Ben's death right there.
That's awesome. I always think of the word spoiler now because when watching Timeless, they went to this Hollywoodland episode in the 1940s, and they met up with Lena, I don't know, one of the actresses back then in the 30s and 40s, and in their conversation, they were like, oh, don't tell them, it's a spoiler, because they knew the movie's ending, and she's like, what's a spoiler? It was so funny.
Well, you need to read this article in Rolling Stone magazine to figure out what a spoiler is. And also in this article, in 1977, Lucas talks about going back and redoing the special effects for Star Wars. He was so disappointed in the outcome. Even back then, he was talking about, I've got to redo this. I've got to redo all of these special effects because they're just not living up to what I see in my head. Now, we did a breakdown on this article in episode 339 of Skywalking Through Neverland. We go through all the points to this.
And we'll put a link in the show notes. Skywalkers, you are on fire with your comments here. Okay, yes, Romancing the Stone was so fun. I want to know why your favorite number is 527, Julie. Stacy, we're not going to call it that.
2 wedges and a Watto.
And yes, I believe Kathleen Turner did do Jessica Rabbit,
Yes,
right?
she did.
Yeah, nice. War of the Roses?
Yep.
Okay. Yes, it is a crime that James Earl Jones did not get a credit. Did R2-D2 and 3PO get credits either?
Yeah, James Earl Jones went in the studio for 2 hours.
Oh, okay.
And
they
thought,
were
you know what,
on
I don't need a credit for this. Who's gonna see this?
Got it. And Kenny, Timeless, yeah. I wished it lasted longer too. Well, from Rolling Stone to rolling back to Rebel Scum Con, let's start our double wedge episode with actor Denis Lawson. All right, guys, faster and more intense and clappy clap.
Okay. Gotta slate it.
Right, okay.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, may I present Mr. Denis Lawson, Wedge Antilles from the Star Wars saga. You're one of the survivors.
Apparently.
Of the Rebel Alliance.
Yeah, I'm still here.
And the Republic.
Yeah.
Now, when you got the part of Wedge Antilles, what did George Lucas or Gary Kurtz tell you about the role of Wedge?
Absolutely nothing. It was just on the page, and that was it. And I don't think the first movie we didn't see a full script, so we didn't really know what we were in, frankly. But it was great fun, and I knew a lot of the other guys, young actors who were in it with me from the London-based, so we all knew each other, most of us, and had a great time on it. It was great fun. It wasn't until we sat down and watched it months and months later we realized what we were in. It was just gobsmacking, extraordinary.
So when you were at Elstree Studios shooting your scenes, they didn't tell you out there is a giant galactic space battle?
Well, kind of, but not really. I mean, the thing is, this is what it was like then. We all sat outside the soundstage in Elstree, chatting away and having jokes and sort of, and then you were called up one by one. You climbed up a ladder onto a wooden platform, and there you sat in a cockpit, or half a cockpit behind you, camera, George Lucas. And each corner of the platform was a couple of guys, and they were rocking it around like that, so you were wobbling around. That's how basic it was. Nobody mentioned blue screen, green screen. It wasn't even, the first time I ever heard the term computerized camera. So that was, oh my God, what's that? Okay. So we'd no real concept of what we were in. In fact, George, who I think is some kind of genius, of course, sat by the camera, and it was like, let's say it's a 20-page battle sequence, right? And he thought you could just go through 20 pages and do all your lines like that. I said, George, you can't, it doesn't work that way. I said, tell you what to do. Say my line to me, and I'll say it back to you. So he would say, let's say, for instance, look at the size of that thing. Look at the size of it. Now look up there and say it. Look at the size of that thing. Look down. Look at the size. Look at it faster. Look at this. That's how. So we do each line like that.
And looking in different directions.
Looking in different directions. So he had lots of stuff for the cutting room, the edit, you know. So that's kind of how it was. So we really didn't know what we were in. It was extraordinary. Extraordinary.
What other kind of direction did he give you, other than faster and more intense?
Yeah.
Was it, you have something on your tail right now, this is part of the Empire?
Yeah. No, I only remember faster and more intense. That's all I remember.
And did you know what you were flying? Did he show you a picture?
Not really, no.
George!
No, well, they did, but it wasn't. But the thing is, we were in whatever it was. We knew we were in a cockpit of some kind of a flying machine, you know, spacecraft. But I don't know that we ever saw what an X-wing looked like until further down the line, you know. It was all right. It was okay.
So when you finally saw it at the theater,
yeah, it was mind-blowing.
Yeah.
Because we saw it in one of the big cinemas in the middle of London when we came back months later for the cast and crew screening, and we were like that. My God. Because they broke ground technically, as you know. It was extraordinary what they did. Just amazing, amazing.
A follow-up to that, when you first saw it, did you know that your voice was going to be replaced?
No, because that was just in the first film.
Red 2, standing by. One more pass. Copy, Gold Leader. I'm already on my way out.
This is how random it was. In fact, they cast another actor in the part as Wedge.
Oh, right. Now, Colin Higgins.
I don't know why. He didn't work out. And so they brought me in to do the bulk of the role. That's it. I didn't know that at the time. So they needed someone to make the two voices sound the same.
Right.
Then after that, it was my own voice.
Okay. Yeah, I talked to Colin Higgins at a celebration before he passed away, and he gave me an earful.
All right, okay.
I'll share that story later on.
Yeah, okay.
Now, in Return of the Jedi, at the very end of the Ewok celebration.
Yeah.
Okay, I got to show you something.
All right.
Now, there's a shot where, only in the special edition, did they add on shots to the scene.
Right.
And there's a shot right here of Luke Skywalker. He comes over to you, and he gives you a great big hug. And look on your face was like you weren't expecting that.
Right, that's Harrison Ford.
There you go. There you are. That look on your face. Yeah. I was like, oh. So I'm guessing that was an unscripted moment.
Yeah, probably. But Mark, that would make sense. Mark and I became very good friends through the movies.
Yeah.
He used to hang out at my house a lot. And,
oh, really?
And the first time he ever saw Ian McDiarmid without his makeup on was in my front room of my home. And he went, oh my God, that's what you look like, you know. Because Ian McDiarmid and I, by the way, were amateur actors together in Scotland when I was 17 years old.
Oh, no kidding.
And we both auditioned for drama school on the same day in Glasgow. And we came out, and I remember I had a conversation with him in the street, a chat. Then I watched him walk away up the street, and I thought, I'll never see that guy again. And we both got in, we trained together, we shared flats together, and I've known him since I was 17. Yeah, he's an incredible man. Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen behind-the-scenes photos of you and Ian McDiarmid and Mark Hamill clowning around on Return of the Jedi.
Exactly. Yeah.
This has been fantastic. Thank you so very much.
You're very welcome. Lovely to see you. Lovely to meet you.
Can you look in the camera and say, this is Denis Lawson and I'm skywalking through Neverland?
I'm watching through? This is Denis Lawson.
Red 2, standing by.
I'm skywalking through Neverland.
A one-take wonder.
Incredible, what a guy. Okay.
I waited so long to get a conversation with Denis Lawson on Skywalking Through Neverland, and I met him at an autograph show not too long ago, and he gave me his email address and said, yeah, I'll come on your show, just let me know when. Well, after about 15 emails, I realized that ain't gonna happen.
No.
And then we wrote out to his publicity person, who said, yeah, he's not going to be doing interviews.
Okay.
Well, we saw him right there, and he liked my R2-D2 jacket.
Yes.
And he liked all your fun hairdos you had every day. So we stuck in his mind. So we saw the opportunity where we made eye contact. We went right over there and said, hey, can we do an interview?
Yeah.
Nothing ventured, nothing gained. He said, okay, let's do it.
Yeah. And he was so accommodating too. He's like, where would you like? Would you like
yes.
to come back here? You like me out here? Yeah.
It was
so nice.
He was a very, very nice gentleman. I was a little apprehensive just because of all the cat and mouse going back and forth.
Right.
But he was right there wanting to talk. And unfortunately, after about, 5 minutes, his manager was giving us the wrap it up because I had Ewan McGregor questions all chambered.
Yeah, you had a bunch of questions, and unfortunately, at that point, a line began to form behind us, like about 2-3 people deep. So it's like, we understood.
Yeah,
obviously
they're there to make money, so we don't want to interrupt with that. So you do what you got to do.
Absolutely, but we were so grateful that he was so willing and happy to talk with us, and he played right to the camera.
Yes, he did. He's an actor. All right, now let's talk with David Ankrum, the voice of Wedge Antilles in A New Hope.
Hold on to something.
Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3.
Look at the size of that thing. Actually, that's not Dennis, but I'm David Ankrum, and I did the voice of Wedge in the Star Wars A New Hope.
Look at the size of that thing.
You didn't just voice one wedge, you voiced two
There
wedges.
were 2 wedges. There was the first wedge.
That's impossible, even for a computer.
Colin Higgins, who did the briefing room scene, and that line, that's impossible, even for a computer. And he was actually, it's not, he was a great actor, but he was let go because he couldn't really, I don't know the whole story, but there were some problems.
Richard knows.
And some people know more than I do at these cons. I learn something every day.
Let's go back to 2007. 2007, I was an autograph helper to Colin Higgins.
Oh, you were? I love that.
So
I've never met him.
He was a very nice man, man.
Sure.
But he was fired from Star Wars.
Yes.
Because here's the story.
I want to hear it.
Apparently, Wedge had a very big monologue to tell Luke
in that briefing
in
room
that
scene?
briefing room scene. He had which ended with.
Look, that's impossible, even for a computer. I got that line.
Yes.
I probably wouldn't remember the other lines either. I don't know.
The whole monologue ended with that.
Yeah.
And he just couldn't get it. Because it was a monologue
It's
full
hard.
of science fiction jargon.
Sometimes that is difficult. Yes.
Yeah, and they said, okay, you're shooting in a couple of minutes. Here's the script.
And they move quickly.
Yes,
George
very much
kind of
so.
moves. He knows what he wants.
And he kept on fumbling and fumbling and fumbling.
Oh, and sometimes when you do that as an actor, I know you're in
your head.
You get in your head. You can't get out of it.
Yeah.
So you're just a fumble man. But Wedge chatters a lot.
Yeah. Then Gary Kurtz ushered him outside and said, yeah, this is not working out. We got what we wanted. We got that last line in there. So
Did Colin tell you that, or did
Colin told me that.
Did he tell you that?
Yes, he did.
What a special moment, though, to hear that.
Because I was like,
I didn't even know that history. All I've heard he was let go because there were more lines or something. And
as soon as I sat down, he said,
they're not easy
I was
lines.
sacked from Star Wars.
Oh God, that poor guy. He had to leave but it's kind of famous for that. I mean, come on.
Yeah, but you know what? I didn't know up until that point that was supposed to be Wedge.
I didn't know when I did the voice either. I did the voice for Dennis first, and I didn't even know that his name was Wedge. It was his fighter pilot, and I did the briefing. I did the trench scene. I didn't know what they were blowing up. When he opened his mouth, I started talking, and when he closed it, we finished the lines, and George seemed to be happy with it. I didn't get fired, so. Then he said, I have another actor, another scene. I want you to do this voice. And I said, yeah, sure. And then I did, that's impossible, even for a computer. And then, okay, bye. But I worked all afternoon, and back in '76.
Did they tell you why you were voicing?
Didn't tell me
actor?
anything. I didn't know anything. I just was an actor, and I got a job, and I was part of his new sci-fi film, and who knew what it was going to be like, really? And until. It opened. I got to go Chinese theater, and just from the beginning, I just knew. I got so lost that I didn't listen to my voice. I had to go again because it was so great, And I originally read. I was an actor back in the '70s, and there was a casting director for American Graffiti who worked with George, and he cast me in my very first Screen Actors Guild card movie called Every Little Crook and Nanny. And he seemed to like my work, and he consulted on Star Wars with George, and he brought me in to read for C-3PO. At that time, you didn't know it was a C-3PO. It was some kind of a robot, really, and so they didn't know if he was going to put him in a suit or not in a suit, or you just use his voice. And I didn't hear a thing afterwards, of course, because I wasn't meant to be. But they had me come back and do the voice of this fighter pilot, Wedge Antilles. Two Wedge Antilles. So I came in and voiced Denis Lawson and the whole trench scene. Look at the size of that thing. Red 2 standing by, and what about that tower? And fighters coming in, point 3, and all of that stuff. Anyway, it was I'm such an honor to, and who knew at the time that I'd be in, Frisco, Texas 49 years later. I mean, the universe works in mysterious ways.
Oh, sure it does.
Because I met him today, and then, come on. I have another part of my Star Wars story. Back in 1961 and 2, I was neighbors with Dennis Muren. Dennis Muren.
Special effects wizard.
Special effects wizard. We made movies in his backyard and also in his... And listen, let's talk about Denis Lawson and Scottish music.
Yeah.
I love that. I got to get my phone out. Encore!
Wedges theme! Wedges theme!
Wait a minute, you're Scottish. I know. Yeah, fucking right, he's Scottish. Good to meet you, Dennis.
Good to see you.
Good timing.
Amazing.
So if you post that somewhere, we will. Tell people like, hey, he knows he's out of tune, but Aaron, the word.
Oh no, that was great.
That was beautiful, man.
Yeah, you had Denis Lawson filming you.
Can you see that?
That's why I'm shaking.
I know. Hey, me too. Come on, man.
Yeah. That's so cool.
Yeah. Not only was he recording, he ran to get his phone.
No kidding.
All right. Back to business.
Well, hey, where are we? Oh,
all right,
yeah.
Rogue One.
Rogue One.
Let's fast forward to Rogue One.
Yes, that's 2016, I believe. I was in Kansas City, and I got a Facebook message from Matthew Wood saying, "Are you interested in a little SW project?" I said, "What SW? What is that? Southwest Airlines? Oh yeah." No, and so yeah, I said yes. I definitely. So I went to Disney Studios and. They wedged my voice in Rogue One as the PA announcer.
Attention all flight personnel. Please report to your commanders immediately. All flight personnel, please report to your commanders immediately. We have been redirected to Scarif. Pilots, you'll be briefed by your squadron leaders en route. May the Force be with you.
Scarif? They're going to Scarif? Why does nobody ever tell me anything, Artu?
We've been redirected to Scarif. And I got to say, may the Force be with you, too.
Did they want you to come back as Wedge?
Wedge,
if Wedge was making the announcement?
It was an Easter egg as to plant Wedge on Yavin, and he hadn't seen the Death Star before, so...
Look at the size of that thing.
I was there as Wedge in his voice as the PA announcer. There's a little Easter egg. And that kind of bookended my, Star Wars voice.
It's not over yet.
And it's not over yet because the galaxy is alive and well and breathing.
Mm-hmm. And so is Wedge. Today. We saw him in Rise of Skywalker.
Yes. Yeah. He did my voice. I trained him. No. He's a wonderful actor.
Something he had just told.
Wonderful Scottish actor, and yeah.
Denis Lawson had told us that he voiced his own self in The Empire Strikes Back
Yeah,
and Return of the Jedi.
Yes, he did. I did The New Hope, and then the rest of them, they didn't need to do the voice anymore, so he did the voice. He did his own voice. Denis Lawson.
In this business,
in Hollywood.
Come on, SAG. Come on, two actors for one role, maybe 3 or 4. You get a stand-in.
But I'm grateful to be a part of it, and the beginning of it, and Rogue One, and meeting fans. And
now here at Rebel Scum Con 2025, what
Yes.
kind of fan reactions have you been getting?
Fantastic, and people come in with old posters, and they bring back their childhood, and they introduce new fans too, the younger fans that are into the whole 1 through 9. Now they want to collect some of the originals, and it's good to be a part of it, creating something. I feel like George conducted this big symphony, and I'm second oboe. That's it. I'm a second oboe.
There you go.
Yeah. All right.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. David Ankrum.
All right. See you later, guys.
Yeah, we'll talk later on about
Let's
what
ask
happened.
Richard.
Oh, okay. Now he's interviewing me.
Now, Richard. Okay. So from that point on, Richard was fired, and he was out of the picture, and so they hired Denis Lawson, a wonderful Scottish actor. Hey, I'm Spencer from the Virtual Cantina, and I'm skywalking through Neverland. Hey, it's David Ankrum, the voice of Wedge Antilles, and I'm skywalking through Neverland? No.
Yes.
Hey, David Ankrum, the voice of Wedge Antilles.
Red 2, standing by.
And I'm skywalking through Neverland.
How exciting was that? Wedge meeting Wedge.
Uh-huh.
And I know David Ankrum said he had met Denis Lawson at another event.
Yeah,
but
which makes sense, but still.
I've never seen it on camera.
No.
So this was very, very exciting. And this came right after the bagpipes.
Yes! Yeah, the bagpipes played by @LordDrew, DRU, on Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and oh my gosh, Lord Drew, by the way, was such a delight, and his bagpipes could be heard periodically throughout the halls on Sunday. And I felt like it just lent such a fun vibe.
It really did.
Because we were like around, and all of a sudden you'd hear from far away, like on a Scottish hilltop, oh, there's the Star Wars theme. And then all of a sudden it was right here in our row, as you saw in the video. So super cool.
And Denis Lawson being a Scottish actor, it's like, oh, this really harkens back to my ancestry. And you know what? One of the things I was going to bring up with Denis Lawson was, hey, my grandmother was from Glasgow, where he was from.
Aww.
But we just never got around to that. But
no.
But David Ankrum, what a trip this guy was.
Mm-hmm.
He was just so much fun.
He was interviewing you.
Yes, he was.
Like all of a sudden we put that microphone on him and off he went. Off he went, go.
You gotta love an interviewee who's just so full of energy.
Mm-hmm.
And
great.
That he was. And I really wanted that moment where I was saying, look at the size of that thing, and have him voice it.
And it worked out.
You know what? So many things were checked off of my fandom box at Rebel Scum Con. All right, now let's go from 2 wedges to a Watto with our conversation with Andy Secombe. We are here with Andy Secombe, the voice of Watto in The Phantom Menace and Attack of the Clones. All right, now I got a lot of questions for you. Now you can either answer right or wrong, and it all depends on a chance cube. All right, so you roll it. If it ends up on red, then you can answer every question with the wrong answer. If it comes up on blue, you got to answer totally honestly. What is it? What is it? It's blue! All right.
You tricked me.
You know, sometimes in life, things don't go your way. All right, so you're doing the voice of Watto right now. I got to know how that voice came to be. Did Lucasfilm show you a maquette of Watto? Did they give you some ideas?
No, all I saw was a line drawing. And they had no idea. But the casting director said George wants him to be, he's off the street, he's rough around the edges, but with possible mafia connections. So I thought, well, yeah, he's rough, so it's going to be talked about a bit of a gravelly voice. with mafia connections, a bit of Italian thrown in there, so a bit of Italian, so it ended up sounding like this. That's how that came about.
So at what point did you know what Watto looked like?
Basically, but it was only until I actually got on set that I saw the maquette of him, which was, it was about sort of 3/4 the size of that.
Had you been doing voice work before?
Oh yeah. I mean, that's how I was running a production company with a friend of mine in London, and we were writing and producing and voicing a series of animations for Channel 4. And because we were an established production company, that's why Lucas got in touch with us and said, who are your best voiceover artists? And I said, me.
And watch you. So what kind of fun stories do you have to share about the making of The Phantom Menace? And I'm not going to ask how hot it was. I'm sure you've been asked that a million times.
Well, the first day of filming Leafton Studios in London, it was the pod race, the hangar scene. It was the chance cube scene. And at the end of that, I've got a line with Liam Neeson. I say, you may have won the small toss Outlander, but you will not win the race.
You won the small toss Outlander, but you won't win the race.
And Liam's quite tall, I'm quite short, so they put me on a flight case so that we were eye to eye. And George said, really go for it. He said, really attack him. Okay. So, you may have won the small toss Outlander, but you will not win the race. Yeah, great. Now more. So anyway, so I really went for it in the end. And I was wearing this hat. And because it was to give the animators a clue over who they should CGI the Watto character. And
really?
Oh, really? Yeah. No, absolutely. Watto is the first wholly CGI character ever. So this was very early days. So they would say, maybe wear this hat. And it's got a steel rim, and a steel rim is very sharp, very dangerous. And so when I went for Liam on the final take...
But you won't win the race, so it makes a little difference.
You may have won the small toss Outlander, but you will not win the race. And I lunged at him and struck him on the bridge of the nose with the edge of the hat.
And it's not Darth Maul, it's you.
Yeah, exactly. And he collapsed. He grabbed his nose. He fell on the floor. And I thought, oh God, I've killed the leading actor on the first day of filming. Anyway, he was fine, but they had to make up his nose. He was a bit bruised. And I said after that, to George, I said, can I lose the hat now? He said, no, you've got to wear the hat. But Liam was a bit wary of me after that.
Which probably worked for the character.
Well, yeah.
Did they give you any kind of backstory? I'm sure they didn't, because that seems to be the way things go. They don't give you the actors the backstory. But did you make up a backstory for Watto?
To be perfectly honest, no. No, I mean, he's a junk dealer, and I suppose I just thought he'd been selling bits of spaceships on Tatooine forever, and that I didn't think, and gambling, and I thought I didn't sort of think much further than that really about the character.
Did you also do the body movements as well? Did they capture your body to animate?
I was on set, so I was playing the scenes with the other actors, and there are certain aspects of what I did that they captured, because I was trying to sort of inhabit the character. I suppose I did move sort of slightly differently. I was a bit hunched. You can see that I was a bit hunched and sort of I shuffled a bit, and they used a lot of my expressions actually, which I didn't find terribly flattering. But yes, and when we went afterwards to do it in post-production, when they stuck me in a booth, to redub various bits, they put a camera on my face and they recorded my lip movements, and that's where they got some of the sort of growls and sort of grunts from us, and they animated them onto onto him, onto Watto.
In Attack of the Clones, there's a great shot of Watto when he just realizes who this man is in front of him. It's little Annie.
Oh, right.
And Watto's eyes, they shift up and down to take it all in. Was that a you thing or was that an animator thing?
No, I think it was me. I mean, you know, because
I've always loved that shot. It's really, it gives Watto a little something more than just, hey, it's you, but he's really processing. You can see the little processes going through his mind.
Absolutely, yeah.
Were you surprised when George wanted to bring you back for Attack of the Clones?
No, it was always on the cards. It was always going to happen.
Was that the contract?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
What kind of direction did George Lucas give you on set? Was it more just faster and intense?
It was virtually nothing. George is famous for giving no direction at all. As far as he's concerned, if he casts someone in the role, it's because he thinks they can play the character. And that's kind of all that. Then his direction is kind of finished.
Now, there's been a lot of Watto toys. What kind of a collection do you have of his merchandise?
I've got one soft Watto toy.
One?
Yeah. Well,
I suppose if you collected them all,
no,
you'd have no place in your house.
I'd have no room in the house.
When you had worked with little Jake Lloyd, what did you think of him as an actor? I thought he was great.
He was great. Yeah, he was very naughty. He was great fun. He was always sort of standing behind the camera, pulling faces. But no, we got on well together. He was good fun.
When you say naughty, how else can you explain that?
Well, no, I mean he was just kind of he was just very cheeky.
He was a 9-year-old.
Yeah.
Okay, now I'm sure you've been asked your favorite line of Watto's. What's your second favorite line of Watto's? Let's change things up.
Oh, God.
Okay, once again, blue side is the right answer, red side is the false answer. Blue again. Okay, so now you got to answer honestly. Your second favorite line.
Second favorite line. I'd forgotten this line until someone reminded me of it today. And it's when he meets Qui-Gon Jinn for the first time. He says, I hope you didn't kill anybody I know.
I hope you didn't kill anyone I know for it, huh?
Sums up his sort of connection to the mafia and his relationship with everyone else.
All right, your second favorite line. All right, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Andy Secombe. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yippee! So, Richard, what made you bring the Chance Cube with you?
When we were packing for our trip,
Okay.
I was getting some questions ready for people who I wanted to speak to at Rebel Scum. And I knew David Secombe was on my list. One of the very, very first things I've ever bought at Galaxy's Edge, one of the first pieces of item, the first item I ever got were these little Chance Cubes. I realized, wait a minute, this will be so much fun if I can bring one of these cubes and play a little chance with David Secombe.
Yeah.
So we were about to go in and talk with him, and I realized, I don't have my Chance Cube on me. And we had to run all the way back to the hotel room, which was 2.5 minutes away, and come right back. Because I would have felt terrible if had I not had this on me, because I bought this for a reason. He got a little kick out of it.
He did.
When we approached him, he was like, okay.
I've done a lot of interviews.
Let's do another one. But when I brought that out, this Chance Cube, I could see his eyes lighting up and realizing, okay, this will be something new that was being presented to him. So this might be the first time anyone's ever played Chance with Watto in person. Love it. All right, now, next week, we are so excited to bring you our classic Marvel Star Wars comic panel we did at Rebel Scum Con with Anna Graves and Jeff Caffrey.
So stay tuned for that next week. That wraps up episode 527 of
Skywalking Through Neverland.
We want to thank Denis Lawson, David Ankrum, and Andy Secombe, 2 Wedges and a Watto. Now, please subscribe to our YouTube channel, and you can also find us on all socials at Skywalking Pod.
And also join us every Monday at 6 p.m. Pacific time for Things
We Want to Share.
That's when we share what we've done that week. any kind of new additions to our collections. We invite all the Skywalkers to come on if they want and show what they have gotten or a story they want to tell. And then we always do some trivia.
Yes, and it's not always on Monday nights, but usually it is. Just stay focused on our YouTube channel and we'll post it. Do you look forward to our conversations and live streams every week and want to support that enjoyment? You can consider becoming a member of the Skywalking Force and supporting us through our Patreon. And there's only 6 more to get us to 50 members strong. You could be part of 50 Skywalking Force amazing members. And the Skywalking Force, you have your own dedicated podcast feed that contains early access to many episodes and bonus content like an entire John Williams Hollywood Bowl concert. Actually, 2 of them, I think. Head to skywalkingforce.com and have a look at the options. And we want to thank you so much from the bottom of our hearts to those of you who are already part of the Skywalking Force. I'm so excited about it, I can't even talk.
I bet we can hit 50 by Halloween.
Oh, let's do it.
Dun, 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 dun. 6 more Patreon members until Halloween. Halloween. Halloween.
That's right.
There
Or
we go.
maybe even Life Day, November 17th. And that reminds me, for West Coast Skywalkers, we are going to have a meetup, or just join us on Life Day in Galaxy's Edge at Disneyland, which is November 17th. It's a Monday, but we will definitely be there, and we would love to see you there.
Now, we also want to thank our sponsor once again, Small World Vacations, for their continued support. Thinking of a trip to a Disney park, a Disney cruise, or to a Universal Studios theme park? We can fill out a Get a Quote form at smallworldvacations.com today. Their vacation planning service is free of charge. So check them out and tell them Skywalking Through Neverland sent you, and then tell them that you want 2 wedges and a Watto.
Oh boy. All right, well, we are part of the Skywalking Network.
Skynet.
Where you can find other great shows like Talking Apes,
Star Warsologies,
the Max Effects Podcast,
the Neverland Clubhouse,
Totally Tell Me Everything,
and the YouTube shows Collectopolis and Today in Star Wars History. Now, don't forget to stick around for bloopers and other fun bits that didn't make it into the show. And
always remember,
Neverland on Alderaan. Not even for 2 wedges and a Watto.
All right, I'm going to hit record. Richard, I'm going to need you to do your clappy claps.
Hey, Skywalkers, the Rebel Scum Con fun continues. In this episode, we have 2 Wattos. No, we don't.
You messed it up.
Yes, I did.
Okay, try it again. Well, that wraps up this episode 527 of...
Hey, look at those names to the left. They are part of the Skywalking Force, our Patreon.
Become a producer yourself and check out all the Disney Plus themed bonus content available depending on the level you subscribe.
Become a member of the elite Skywalking Force at skywalkingforce.com.